How many days were you asleep?
Long enough to know.
Not long enough to understand. I serve my queen because I want to serve my queen.
Quiero escuchar un fuerte aplauso y una ovación para recibir en el escenario de Argentina Comic Con a Nathalie Emmanuel. Thank you so much, Nathalie. How will you stay in Buenos Aires?
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. It's been fun hanging out at Comic-Con.
It was a surprise for you, the fans, the passion?
I mean, Game of Thrones fans, I know how passionate you are. Maze Runner fans, I know how passionate you are. Fast and Furious fans, I know how passionate you are. So it wasn't a surprise, but I have felt a very unique warmth and welcome from my Argentinian fans. So thank you.
Thank you. You're an amazing actress. So, the first question is, what made you decide to become an actress?
What made me want to become an actress? I mean, it's just really fun. You basically get paid to make believe and play, which is, you know, great. And it started off as a hobby and something that my mum wanted me to do, and my sister as well, because I was quite a shy child, so she wanted me to sort of gain some confidence. And doing performing arts is just a really good way to do that.
Mm-hmm. And about Game of Thrones, what do you know about the story, the books, the Game of Thrones before the character, before Miss Sunday?
I actually I didn't know about the books until the show, to be honest, and I watched season 1 when it came out and became a huge fan, and then I started reading the books. So I guess I kind of jumped on that bandwagon when the show became a thing. And and the Sunday, I think when I got the part, I hadn't quite reached book 3 where she comes in. So I just started reading very, very quickly and sort of learn a little more about her.
So what was your first reaction when HBO called you and said, you are Miss Sunday?
Oh, I cried my eyes out. I screamed a lot. I was actually coming into my house. I'd been to the supermarket and I had bags of shopping. And I dropped it and screamed a lot. And then broke like a jam jar of strawberry jam. That went everywhere. Oh well.
and do you remember your first time with Miss Sunday Custom?
The first time?
Yeah, when you see yourself in the mirror with Miss Sunday Custom.
So, our incredible costume designer, Michelle, she draws everything. If you ever see her sketches, they are just stunning. And so I saw a picture of it, of her idea, but then they sort of measured cloth on me in the shape of the costume, but it wasn't the material it was going to be, it wasn't the colour it was going to be. They just sort of used a pattern essentially and fitted it to my body, and even that was amazing. I was like, oh, can I take this home? I wear this in the summer. It was great. And but the first time I put the costume on, it was just amazing because it makes it very easy for you when you step into the character. And her costume in the first episodes that she was in it was just very beautiful, and I was like, oh wow, this is cool. And the way that they like age the material and make it like old, like that's just amazing. It just makes you really feel like you're in this world.
Wow. Your character is a translator. It's difficult to make a character. It's difficult to speak the different language of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it is tough. I actually haven't had to speak much Valyrian for a few seasons now, so I think I've forgotten how hard it was, but you basically learn it phonetically. David Peterson, who is the genius linguist who writes the language, sends like recordings of the line. I have it written down phonetically, and I basically learn it by syllable. So I hear a recording of him saying it syllable by syllable, and then he says it at speed, and then I just have to practice it over and over again. It was funny, the first season, I was living at home actually with my mom, and she would hear me in the bedroom just like randomly like screaming in frustration because I'd like got it wrong, and then I'd come out and I'd be like, Mom, I learnt this, and I'd say it, and then she'd be like, well done darling, and I'd be like, okay, got back in, learn the next thing. Like it was a fun process, but it's hard. Then to make it fluid it takes practice, absolutely.
Me queda el vídeo. Tenemos una escena de Game of Thrones. Vamos a bajar las luces.
Your Grace, there's still no word from the Unsullied. Soon, he will come back to you. He better. What happened? Many things. Many things.
Your Grace.
Dear Sharon.
How is working with Emilia?
Oh, I love working with Emilia. She's been such a dear friend from day one. Like we just like clicked, and it was really cool because coming into any show, it's like when you start a new school or you start a new job, and you like there's all these new people, and you have to. It takes time to like make friends, and she was just like, you're in our gang now. So that was cool. See her.
For you as an actress, it's more difficult or more easy to play the same character in different seasons?
Well, I think the more time you have with a character, the more potential there is in a way, because you have more time to get to know her. And obviously the situations that you find her, that I found her to be in have changed a lot over the season. And you have the fun job of deciding how she copes or deals with any given situation. And with Missandei's story being coming from slavery to free thinking, free feeling, liberated person, like having to learn who she is, like it's proven to be really fun and like such an honour really to sort of explore who she is. And Missandei is a child in the books, and you know they've aged her up for the show, so I had quite a lot of freedom with that, and that was, as an actress, that's always, or an actor, it's always really fun to have sort of free range.
So, what can you say about the relationship of Missandei and Grey Worm? What changed in this relationship?
Those lovebirds. Yeah, so what can I say about Grey Worm and Missandei? They both came from similar horrific backgrounds. I think they have that in common, that in that story, in that section of the story, you know, Grey Worm's the only person that understands where Masande's come from, and Masande is the only one that understands where Grey Worm comes from. They lived it. So out of that situation, this like pure, kind of beautiful like friendship and then romance like blossomed. And I think that relationship has helped both of them engage with their emotions, and you know, for Masande, her womanhood, and it's just to experience intimacy for the first time where it's like wanted and yeah, it's gentle and kind, probably a first for her. And it's just it's been such a joy playing that storyline and working so closely with Jacob Anderson. I mean, like, we've had so much fun. And every year when they give us our little moment, he gets a text message and I'm like, babe, did you read it? And he's like, yeah, I read it. And I'm like, oh, it's so sweet. So yeah, we've had such fun, so much fun.
Great. We got other scene. Tenemos otra escena de Game of Thrones. Funny scene.
Sunday, do you like the wine?
I do.
Tell a joke.
Two translators are on a sinking ship. The first says, "Do you know how to swim?" The second says, "No, but I can shout for help in 19 languages."
This joke is in the script.
Yes, they wrote that joke in the script. I didn't come up with that. I'm actually much funnier. No, I'm joking. I'm not really. Yeah, I mean, bless her heart, she tried. This was such a fun scene because this is probably the first time we've seen Masande laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, and the idea that she comes up with a joke, I think this is also a demonstration of her freedom in her like mind and her spirit. You know, she's like playful, and that was just fun to do. And like the rest of that scene where you sort of see Grey Worm looking lovingly at her because she's laughing. It's just very sweet, and working with Peter, who's just like the king of like comedy timing, is just a lot of fun. And yeah, it was a really fun scene to do. And I think what I've really enjoyed playing Masande and alongside Grey Worm, we get to have these moments of like levity or like lightness or hope or love. It's just like this sort of sweet little nugget in the middle of this like chaotic show where like everyone's dying or you know, something awful's happening and then we get to play the like lovely stuff, and this is one of those moments.
So, what is the most complicated part for making this character and from making this kind of series, big series like Game of Thrones? The most complicated part for you?
The most complicated part? This show is so huge. The amount of people involved in making this show work is astounding. There are so many departments before we even get to set, before we even arrive to film. There's so much work behind it, and after, well, we're now shooting the 8th season, they've just somehow managed to create this machine that works most of the time. You know, obviously every production has its, you know, off days, but it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of really dedicated people, and it wouldn't happen without those people. And most of us don't know their names and don't see that unless you like read the credits like religiously. But you know, most people don't know who those guys are, and like we wouldn't be able to do this without them. So I'm hugely indebted to them. In terms of like playing Masande, when I took on the part and I read a little about her in the books, she seemed like a very quiet, gentle soul. And I tried to sort of make choices for her that felt like I was bringing her energy from the books into the character. And one of the things that I decided, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, is that she's always stood very held. She's like either holding her hands or she's very like contained. And I wanted to do that because of her life as being enslaved. She has to be perfect. She can't make a step wrong. So that can bind you in a certain way. And I'm very like, as you see, I talk with my hands a lot. I'm always like kind of animated. And so when I'm Nathalie going onto set playing the Sunday, I have to remember like, put your hands down, don't move too much, and you have to, it takes me a minute to sort of remember, you know, like my body, like the physicality of the Sunday is very different to Nathalie. Yeah. I'm now really conscious of my hands now. So I'll sit on them.
We got one more scene, last scene.
Speaking of good hearts, the Sunday of North.
So Davos, Lord Snow.
King Snow, isn't it? No, that doesn't sound right. King John?
It doesn't matter.
Forgive me, but may I ask a question?
Of course.
Your name is Jon Snow, but your father's name was Ned Stark.
No, I'm a bastard. My mother and father weren't married.
Is the custom different in North?
We don't have marriage in North, so the concept of a bastard doesn't exist.
That sounds liberating.
Why did you leave your homeland?
I was stolen away by slavers.
I'm sorry.
If I may, how did a slave girl come to advise Daenerys Targaryen?
She bought me from my master and set me free.
That was good of her. Of course, you're serving her now, aren't you?
I serve my queen because I want to serve my queen. Because I believe in her.
And if you wanted to sail home to North tomorrow?
Then she would give me a ship and wish me good fortune.
You believe that?
I know it. All of us who came with her from Essos, we believe in her. She's not our queen because she's the daughter of some king we never knew. She's the queen we chose.
Damn straight.
She's still hard. This scene was shooting in Spain?
Yes, yes. This we shot in, I want to say Bilbao, or somewhere nearby in the North Country.
Yeah.
That's
País Vasco.
beautiful out there. If you've never been, you should go. It's stunning, and the walkway that we were on, it's like really there. Like it's not like a CGI thing.
Oh,
It's
right.
pretty cool.
People love Jon Snow.
Yeah.
How's working with Kit?
Kit's great. He's a lot of fun. Yeah, he's a really good guy, and he, you know, everyone just gets on really well. I've really enjoyed working with Kit more, and we've had lots of fun times offset, I have to say, and getting to travel away with your pals, essentially, like your friends, was really fun. So yeah, I've enjoyed it.
You work in many incredible movies, Maze Runner, Fast and Furious, but Game of Thrones is special.
Yeah.
What changed in your life after Game of Thrones? What changed in your career after Game of Thrones?
Oh, everything changed. Everything changed. I was very, very unemployed when I got Game of Thrones. I'd been working in television for maybe like 4 or 5 years, and then had a good 2 years of like unemployment, and I was working in retail. I wasn't being employed as an actor, and it was a really hard time. And when that job came, when they said you've got the part, it was like it gave me back so much confidence that I'd lost, and the fire in my belly that I needed to like keep going, because I always knew this is what I wanted, and what with what I wanted to do with my life. And it's really hard. I mean, I don't know how many of you have dreams of being an actor or a musician or anything in like a creative field. It's really, really devastating when like your soul is like, I want to do this thing, I need to do this thing. It's like so a part of you, and then in any, do you know what, in any career that you want to do and nobody's giving you the opportunity, it's devastating. It hurts your, you know, confidence. And so when that job came along, it was like, it gave me this thing to like look forward to work hard towards. I mean, I had reams of Valerian to learn, so I definitely had lots of homework to do, and yeah, it changed everything for me. And then I met this amazing cast of people who are just brilliant human beings, and my life has just been so enriched because of those people, and the crew and the cast, and DB Wise, David Benioff, all of those people just really like have enriched my life in a way that I am so grateful for. And then obviously professionally, it opened up doors for all of these other projects I've been doing, because it kind of placed me on the world stage, essentially, that in a way that I hadn't been before. So it's changed my life. Undeniably so. Like it's amazing. Oh,
Thank you.
it's like getting all emotional over here.
It was a pleasure being with you the last 3 days here in Comic-Con stage. Thank you so much. You're very nice, very sweet, and you're always very welcome here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You guys.
Nathalie Emmanuel Argentina Comic-Con. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Gracias a ustedes también. Y ahí está, Nathalie Emmanuel, última invitada de Argentina Comic Con. Gracias a todos por participar en nuestros paneles. Nos vemos en la edición 10 en diciembre.